This Is Not What I Expected is a 2017 romantic comedy film directed by Derek Hu. I found out about this film on a YouTube or Instagram short. Someone summarized the concept of the movie with an AI voice and copyright-free music about a picky man who won't eat anything except for the food of one specific chef. And of course, you know, I love food movies because I'm a foodie myself. So I found this one. This one's about Lu Jin. He's a picky eater. He's a very rich businessman who lives a very solitary life, always traveling, trying to buy out hotels and then retrofit them and make them more bougie for the masses to increase prices and increase profits. And he always buys hotel chains. He doesn't just buy hotels. So he's coming by, and on the other side of the kitchen is Gu Shengnan. She is a talented sous chef who is a bit of a pushover. Her boyfriend dumps her at the beginning of the film. And she gets drunk and falls into the hotel room of Lu Jin. However, instead of having a meet cute, he throws her out on her ass. And that movie is very charming because it plays around with some of the conventions of a romantic comedy film. Also, she vandalizes his car by accident. So the two of them hate each other's guts immediately because of all this. Well, she doesn't really hate him, but he loathes her and doesn't realize that he also loves her food, though, because when he's testing out all the food in the kitchens and he's got 10 special dishes made by all the chefs, he craps on all of them and he says, "I want something delicious. Bring me something that can excite the palate." And she's the only one who can go up to his worthy challenge by making him a very strong spaghetti-flavored dish. And then, you know, he starts challenging her. He's never met her, but he keeps, you know, just sends her little, like, give me something like day, night, and morning or something, or give me like 4 dishes to represent like the summer, the spring, the fall, the winter. He starts challenging her while he's staying there. He's extending his stay. He's supposed to be doing business, but he's falling in love with her food. And like the movie explores food as a love language. You know, like when you have someone that you love and you make them a special dish, whether it be a dessert or a meal or a special thing, even a sandwich, and you're doing it, the extra emotional love goes into it. It's not just making food like for fuel, and this movie explores that. It also has a lot of influences from other famous comedy films like The Shop Around the Corner, The Mermaid, even a little bit of God of Cookery. So I like the food aspects of the movie. They're very light. The movie's not a food movie per se, but it is one of the larger aspects of the film. And the movie does play around with some tropes. She's a bit too much of a pushover because there's a scene where it's supposed to be her day off and he just goes to her house and says, "Cook for me," and she's like, "Okay." When in real life, a woman would be like, "Get the hell away from me. Why are you at my house?" And there's some other things you think will happen, but they don't. And it's interesting how the movie plays around with your expectations. But overall, the developed characters really make this movie work. They're very charming leads. As the film goes on, you find out more about them. They're very layered. It's not just he's a rich guy, she's a, cooking girl, and then they get together and start up a cool, cute restaurant because they're like that. And the main actress of this movie, she's like really good, and she's been in a lot of films I've seen. I just don't recognize her. She was in Better Days, and she's in a handful of other small films. She's in The Breaking Ice. So there's another role of hers is really good, and the guy does a good job too. So overall, I'm not really into romance films, but this is a really strong film because I like the characters and the unique plot, and it adds a little bit of smattering of, not twists, but like it'll take the conventions and then turn it on its head a little bit. So it's not something too pedestrian. So I give This Is Not What I Expected a 7 out of 10.